Welcome back. Now more on the aftermath of the London attacks. Investigators now are trying to figure out whether the men behind last night's deadly terrorist attack had any help. Joining me right now is Daniel Lynskey. Lynskey is the former superintendent-in-chief for the Boston Police Department. He led that department's response in the wake of the Marathon bombings. He joins us right now. Sir, thank you very much for weighing in this morning. Tell me what took place after the attacks in Boston and how investigators right now are leading to or trying to find out the specifics behind the perpetrators here.
Thanks, Maria. Well, what happened was we first got our victims out of the scene as quickly as possible. Same thing that the London authorities did last night. You secure that scene, you go through it and process it, looking for DNA, forensics, bomb making, any possible link to the individuals involved and anyone who may have helped them or provided logistical support. You get your coordinated responses together and you start running down tips and leads at the same time. While you're doing that, you've got to deploy a large number of highly visible officers throughout the entire city so that you can get on with the day-to-day operations of the city at the same time focusing on an investigation that requires intense resources.
Now, we know that 12 people are being investigated right now in connection with the three attackers who police shot and killed. Does it look to you, does it feel to you that this is a much broader network? We're still waiting on someone to take actual responsibility for this morning.
You know, Maria, we don't know whether these 12 are associated with the individuals from last night. I remember when I was the chief in Boston, at one time we had 3 separate terrorist plots that were going on. So there might have been ongoing investigations that they decided to move on now, that they have enough information to go forward. So there are definitely people that are engaged in terrorist activities, maybe associated with last night or maybe individual plots. The authorities are rounding up those individuals that they think can cause harm, and they'll run down whoever is associated, whether it's computer links, forensics data and signals monitoring as far as who they were talking to in the UK or outside the UK, and figure out what brought them together, how they were radicalized, and where they were supported.
Now, these individuals who were shot and killed last night by police, they were being watched initially anyway. I mean, we have tens of thousands of people right now on a watch list in the UK, almost 30,000 people. Tell us how the best route to get ahead of this. If you're already on the watch list, how is it possible that you're able to carry out this kind of attack?
It's possible because law enforcement is overwhelmed. The number of people who are potentially talking about and thinking about and indicating that they may want to cause harm clearly outwhelms law enforcement's resources. That's true in the UK. It's true in Boston. To truly surveil somebody for 24 hours a day, it takes 40, 50, 60 individuals with electronic surveillance and other activities. It's a daunting task, and we have to engage the public at the front end to start reporting these individuals when they see radical activity, when they're talking about doing these things. We had it with a Boston police captain whose son unfortunately had mental health issues and started talking about doing jihadist activities. The captain was brave enough to go to the FBI authorities and say, I think you should be looking at my son. And as a result, a school bombing and shooting attack was thwarted because of the courage of that father. We need other fathers, other mothers, aunts, uncles, religious community members to step up when individuals are indicating that they no longer want to be in polite society and that they intend to harm people.
There has been a movement to be more politically correct over the last 10 years. We were just talking about this a moment ago. I was with Michael Mukasey, former Attorney General here. And, you know, there are groups of people, whether it be in the UK, in France, that are just not assimilating with the West, and they are following their Sharia law, and the leaders are allowing it. What do you want to see done? I mean, when you look at the fact that even under the Obama administration, we weren't even allowed to look at people's social media account. It was just wrong. It was targeting people. If we looked at what they were saying on social media, of course, had we done that, we would have seen that they were putting out hate.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we're protecting our country like we would a business that we protect. We need concentric circles of security. The first line of security, obviously, is our military forces. They need to go where, if there are people who are telling us that they intend to harm us, our military forces need to go outside in that outer ring and deal with that threat. Then we need inner circles of security as we come into the United States, and we need policies and procedures that are consistent with keeping people safe. But at the same time, we do want to make sure we're balancing the freedom and ability to have our lives the way they are here. The one thing we don't want to do is throw the baby out with the bathwater, where we go to one side completely extreme and we start taking away the rights that we fight so valuably for here. So there's a way to do it. You can do it intelligently, and you can do it methodically, and we need to engage that through a whole community-wide process.
All right, we will leave it there. Daniel Lynskey, thanks very much for weighing in this morning. We will keep following that and see you soon. Thank you, sir.